Hey guys, Mr. Happy here and welcome to my guide to Alexander, the Eyes of the Creator on the normal difficulty. This fight can be unlocked after completing Alexander Midas on the normal difficulty and unlocking it in the hinterlands. It requires a minimum item level of 232 enter with the duty finder. At the start of the instance, you'll quickly be jumped by 5 pretty pathetic goblin ads. Dispose of them and jump up to your favorite recurring mini-boss, Faust Z. This time on Faust Ball Z. You'll be having a pretty straightforward fight. His cleaves can actually be split between the two tanks if they stack up, so do so and keep them both healed. You could also opt to just have one tank do it and rotate cooldowns, the other DPSs. It's up to you. He also does AoEs occasionally, but nothing too threatening. Burn him down and move on to the boss of the Eyes of the Creator, the Refurbisher, Zero. This boss is split up into several mini phases, which I'll add shortcuts to in the annotations of the top left hand of the video. Refurbisher Zero can be an incredibly easy fight when done properly. Your only real goal is to spawn and kill ads in the correct quadrant of the map fast enough to prevent him from absorbing them. When you start the fight, Refurbisher Zero will stockpile 6 enemies on the ground and absorb them to spawn his first arm. He will start auto-attacking the tank with the occasional cleave attack. His autos and his cleave hit really hard, so watch the incoming damage. I recommend your tank face him to the south side of the room where everyone entered, while everyone else fights along the north side of the room. Shortly after his arm spawns, he will summon 2 power generators, a dead gob tank, and a dead Panzer doll scrap. By picking up and dropping a power generator next to a scrap ad, you can revive it. This is the theme of the entire fight. Your goal is to resurrect any dead scraps and drag them to the quadrant of the arena that is glowing and kill them there. After some time, that quadrant will drop its floor and anything on it will be dropped into the lava below. Dead ads are removed from the field by being dropped into this lava pit. If an ad is alive and steps in the lava pit, it explodes, dealing super high damage to everyone and adding a stack of damage down. Just kill the ads before it drops and don't stand on the lava yourself. It puts a severely powerful damage over time on any players who step in it, and it is not Asunable. Now, if you don't drop the ads in the lava properly, when Refurbisher Zero uses the stockpile skill again, he will absorb them, regain some health, gain a stacking damage buff, and begin regaining parts of his body. Each different scrap has a different effect, but just don't let it happen at all. If he gains his second arm, he will do a 360 degree AoE that does about 20k damage to everyone, lethal to people at low item level without mitigation. If he gets his whole body somehow and you haven't died already, well, goodbye. The first set of ads, as stated, is a gob tank and a panzer doll. You can actually ignore the gob tank because it's already on the quadrant that is glowing. Just drop a power generator next to the panzer doll and then drag it over to the correct quadrant. Whoever drops a generator next to an ad actually is the person who gets tethered to them and is the only target it will attack. Because of this, we just have our off tank do it, since there really isn't much else for them to do. You can also make the healer do it so the off tank can DPS more. Whatever you decide, drag it to the northeast quadrant for this first wave and kill it before the floor drops. At some point, the main tank plus 3 other players will be given a mark. This just drops a scrap on them, which you can use to stand behind and negate the boss's scrap burst attack. Drop it in melee range so your melee DPS can still hit the boss while LOSing the attack. Getting hit by Scrap Burst is just some damage and a dot that is Asunable, so it's nothing major. The second set of ads is 3 Vanguard scraps, which you can revive and drag to the northwest corner to dispose of. There will be another Scrap Burst, but just handle it similarly. After he stockpiles this time, he'll actually do a 270 degree conal AoE in the direction he is facing. There is enough time for the main tank to get to his rear when he does this. Dodge it, and move on. Wave 3 summons a Full Metal Faust, which your off tank should pick up after its impact and bring to the southeast quadrant into the corner, facing away from the party. He has a powerful cleave and a room-wide AoE, so keep up the healing here. While alive and not scrapped in lava, it actually tethers to the Refurbisher and makes him take reduced damage. However, the good news is the Refurbisher will not cleave during this phase, so the main tank can rotate him very safely. As you are fighting Full Metal Faust, the quadrants will glow one by one. The first quadrant to glow will be northwest, the second one will be northeast, the third one southwest, and the fourth one southeast. You want to make sure Faust dies before a quadrant drops so he doesn't explode, so bringing him to the southeast, which is the final quadrant that will drop, is the safest. With good DPS, you could do it in the southwest as well. If Refurbisher stockpiles Faust, he will instantly gain 16 damage up stacks, so it's bad news bears. For wave 4, it's going to be 2 gob tanks that spawn in the northeast corner, which you can revive, drag to, and kill in the southeast corner. You'll introduce Scrap Bomb after this, which just does a very light amount of split damage around its target. Stack up and heal through. Wave 5 and 6 are both pretty similar in the sense that its 2 quadrants will glow, and you can pick which one you want to use to remove the ads. At this point, you know the flow of the fight. We just used the quadrant opposite of the main tank, so for us that was on the north side of the arena, like at the start. More Scrap Bombs, more ads, this just continues over and over until the Enrage. We didn't even come close to the Enrage on any of my attempts, so I'm really not sure how far into the fight that is. I'm sure somebody here in the YouTube comment section though will have a horror story. Please be sure to share it. And that is my guide for A9 Normal, also known as the Eyes of the Creator on the normal difficulty. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe, and share, and stay tuned for all of the remainder of my Alexander the Creator guides. Anyway, thank you for watching, and until next time, take care.